Been a very interesting week for me. I didn't really think that I was passing at all in certain meetups that I was going to and stuff like that, but I was talking on Slack, which is kind of like IRC, to some people that are involved in some professional meetups that I go to, and this guy added me to Facebook, and he messaged me like almost right away, and he's like, "Whoa, I thought you were a girl." And I was like, "Well, I am a girl. I'm just a girl who happens to be trans." And he's like, "Oh, no, I mean, just, I didn't know you were trans." And I have no idea how that's even possible, because he's attended several meetups with me. He's seen me in person. I've spoken to him. I don't think that my voice passes. I don't think that I even visually pass. Certainly not, like, my shoulders and my hip ratio and this kind of stuff. Like, and I asked him, I was like, "What? I thought everybody knew that I was trans." And he was like, "Oh, I guess I just didn't think about it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So it got me thinking, like, apparently at least some people just clearly don't really think that much about questioning what gender somebody is. He also said that he thought I made a really pretty girl, because he added me to Facebook and he was looking at my old photos. And yeah, it was really surprising that somebody would make a comment like that, and somebody wouldn't know that I was trans, even though they interacted with me, several times. So yeah, I mean, obviously I was really excited about that, but on the other hand, I know that I don't pass to a lot of people or to most people, but I guess I am kind of getting somewhere. Yesterday I went and I attended my boyfriend's brother's PhD ceremony, which was quite interesting. They have kind of, how to say, it's kind of like a wedding crossed between a funeral. So there's kind of like the defense where the PhD candidate sits at this podium thing, or sits at this, whatever they're called, this speech giving thing, that's kind of like a desk that sits in front of you. I forget what that's called for some reason. And then there's two guys who are kind of like best men that sit on either side, and they kind of write down all the questions that the committee of doctors are asking him, and then he just like has to answer questions and stuff, and then they all leave, and you wait a while, and then they come back in, and then they say, "Okay, he has a PhD," and then he goes back outside, and then everybody follows out in order of like being close, so family comes first, and then close friends and whatever. And you congratulate them, sort of like at a funeral. You don't really congratulate at a funeral, though. You like give condolences, but it's the same idea as at a funeral. That's what it really reminded me of. And yeah, because that was a really interesting experience, and I got to meet more of my boyfriend's extended family. Most of them were very supportive. I only got a couple kind of weird looks from some people, but nobody said anything or anything. Obviously, I guess, because it's a family gathering. People aren't super likely to want to say something mean to somebody or cause any drama, so that was good. But yeah, people were generally friendly to me and stuff like that, so it was all good. As we were heading home and we were getting on the train, I saw a transsexual woman in front of us, and I clocked her with 95+% assurity that she was trans, just by her features and her height, this kind of thing. And I'm not sure if she noticed me. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But we were kind of behind her by maybe 5 meters. And I felt myself having this huge feeling of anxiety. And I guess part of it was, like, the Dutch actually have a word for this. You feel shame for somebody else. And that was the biggest feeling. And then, I only saw her for about 30 seconds, and then she just disappeared. I didn't see her again. But I was really thinking about this on the train ride back, and I guess I'm actually really transphobic, even though I'm trans, I'm very transphobic, and I need to get over this. When I saw this person, I felt my own personal shame projected onto another person, and then it was even more intense. So, it's obviously a very big problem. I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle it, but I will have health insurance kicking in fairly soon, so I'm probably going to go to some therapy and see if I can work through it, and I'll definitely make another video about how I'm dealing with it if I find a good way to deal with it. But yeah, it was very surprising to notice that I'm actually very transphobic, and that did make a lot of things make sense, though, in the sense that I have a really hard time accepting myself, and this is probably why, because I just have so much internalized transphobia that's really messing with me, and I need to find a way to get through this and work on it. Yeah. But anyhow, that's it for today, and everybody take care. Bye-bye.